Thomas and Friends. Thomas and the Green Controller. It was a quiet day at Tidmouth Sheds. Percy was all alone. Suddenly Lady Hatt and her friends arrived at the sheds. "The Fat Controller is sick," she announced. "He has lost his voice." Percy was worried. "I hope he finds it soon," he peeped. Lady Hatt read out a list of jobs from the Fat Controller. "Gordon is to collect coaches of china from Knapford and take them to the docks. He must go very slowly." "Slow cars," peeped Percy. "James is to shunt trucks in the coal yards. He must be as busy as a bee," Lady Hatt went on. "Busy bee," puffed Percy. "And Toby is to take visitors to the Scottish castle. He must go as fast as Gordon's Express." "Gordon's Express," puffed Percy. "You're in charge now, Percy," said Lady Hatt. Thomas puffed into the sheds. "I'm controller for the day," peeped Percy proudly. "Do you need any help?" Thomas asked his friend. "No, thank you. Controllers don't need help," wheezed Percy, and off he chuffed. Percy found Gordon first. "The Fat Controller has lost his voice," puffed Percy, "so I am the controller today." Gordon was surprised. Percy tried hard to remember what Lady Hatt had said. "You must pull very slow cars," he peeped. "Oh, the indignity," huffed Gordon. Percy had a lot to do and a lot to remember. Next Percy found James at the washdown. "James, you must be a busy bee," he peeped. James gasped. "Do you mean I have to be yellow and black?" he whistled. "Yes, James," Percy said sternly. James wanted to keep his red paint. "Engines must do as they are told," Percy boomed as he puffed away. Next Percy found Toby. "Toby, you must pull Gordon's Express," he told him. "Why?" Toby asked. He was very puzzled by this new task. "That's your job. You must do as you are told," peeped Percy loudly. Percy felt very important. Later Percy decided it was time to check on all his engines. He knew that's what the Fat Controller would do. Some children were waiting on the bridge to see the engines. "Hello," Percy peeped. But the children were looking at the track where Gordon was puffing slowly down the line. The children began to laugh. "Look at Gordon," they cried. "What a slow coach." Then James arrived at the signal. The children started to laugh again. James's splendid red paintwork was not splendid or red anymore. He had been painted with yellow and black stripes. "Who is that giant stripy bee?" the children called. Finally Toby the tram engine huffed in with the heavy express. It was very hard work for a little engine like him, and Toby was tired. "My axles ache," poor Toby wheezed to James. Gordon, James and Toby heard the children laughing. Percy was watching anxiously. Gordon called out to Percy. "I am supposed to be the fastest engine on Sodor, not the slowest," he huffed. "I'm supposed to be the reddest engine on Sodor," moaned James. "Now no one knows who I am." "I'm only a steam tram," Toby puffed. "The express is just too heavy for me to pull." Percy was worried. He knew he had made lots of mistakes. Just then Thomas puffed alongside Percy. "What's wrong?" he asked his friend. "Please help me, Thomas. I can't remember what Lady Hatt told me. All the engines are doing the wrong jobs." Thomas thought for a moment. "You must go back over your tracks," he said. "You might see things that will help you remember." Percy thought that was a very good idea. First Thomas and Percy chuffed into Knapford station. "Gordon and slow cars," puffed Percy to himself. Suddenly Percy saw crates of china waiting on the platform. "That's it!" Percy cried. "Gordon is to take the china to the docks. He must pull his coaches very slowly." Then Percy and Thomas puffed into the coal yards. "James must be a busy bee," Percy said slowly. There were lots of grumbling coal trucks waiting to be shunted. "That's it! James has to shunt lots of trucks, so he must be as busy as a bee," peeped Percy happily. Finally Percy and Thomas arrived at the station. "Toby must pull Gordon's express," puzzled Percy. Suddenly Percy saw a group of visitors waiting on the platform. "That's it!" he cried. "Toby is to take visitors to the Scottish castle. He has to go as fast as Gordon's express." Later, when the Fat Controller was feeling better, he visited the engines in the sheds. "You have done very well, little Percy," he smiled. "I'm very pleased." "And I'm very pleased that you've found your voice," Percy tooted happily. "I just hope you never lose it again."